about angels, but it's fear that gives men wings.
Mcdizzle Gaming coming at you. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you're doing well today. The Max Payne series is kind of my Roman Empire. I think about it way too much. What I want to discuss today is a question that people should probably be asking. Will anybody care about the Max Payne series this time around? With the current state of the video game industry, a big production like this is certainly a risk. So I thought this was a really interesting topic to discuss. I hope you enjoy watching this as much as I enjoy talking about it. And if you do, please drop a like. And drop your thoughts in the comments, I'm happy to chat about this. The Max Payne remakes are in full production as of April of this year, with the expected production to be a couple years, so I would expect it to come out sometime in 2026. And this is both Max Payne 1 and 2. I am really excited. I played through all of them last year. My mind was blown. I felt like I was playing something really important in gaming. The series has all the things that I really liked. Dark brooding stuff, amazing gunplay, a hot lady, blood mazes. Just kidding about the blood mazes, those kinda sucked. But outside of Max Payne 1, every other piece of Max Payne media has been a financial flop, although some of them have been critical successes. To understand where we're going in the future, let's look back to the original Max Payne. Max Payne was developed in 2001 by Remedy Games as a deep and psychological tale. It had amazing gunplay, and we'll talk about that in a second, but the story was told through comic strips versus full cutscenes, mainly due to budgetary constraints, but also allowed a unique creative vision for the player to interpret it as they see fit. To talk about the gunplay, it was considered the first true implementation of bullet time, which gives you various controls such as aiming and shooting while in slow motion. We know lots of games have used this feature since then, including the Red Dead series with the Deadeye feature, but Max Payne truly started it all. We even had a young Sam Lake as the face model for Max Payne. It was a dark and brooding story. It was pretty grim. No! Very adult and pretty cool. Everything goes to crap and he goes full John Wick. Anchored by an amazing performance by the late and great James McCaffrey, it really defines the word iconic in acting in a video game medium, in my opinion. It's something pretty unique for that time period, and the sales reflected this. It was a critical and commercial hit, selling 4 million copies. With this success, Max was sitting on top of the world with a bottle of painkillers. With Max Payne being so successful and unique at the time, in 2002, Take-Two bought the Max Payne IP from Remedy for $10 million and paid Remedy $8 million to make Max Payne 2 for them. And Remedy went to cooking.
Night, it's a late goodbye.
Now, Max Payne 2 is really one of my favorite games of all time right now. It hit that sweet spot where it's still playable right now and it doesn't look too old, although a little bit dated of course, but it still plays really well and holds up. It was a massive step up graphically from Max Payne 1. We still had the comic book cutscenes, but we actually had more cutscenes within the game. They weren't huge or long or anything, but they were well done. And we had a new model for Max Payne. It was sad to see Sam Lake go, but I think it needed to happen. We had multiple playable characters as well. We had Mona Sachs, who was pretty great. More advanced bullet time mechanics that let players get into the zone and slow things down a little bit further when they get multiple kills. As well as just better overall control. It also introduced us to Poets of the Fall in such an amazing way with their first song. And you may or may not know, Poets of the Fall became a mainstay within Remedy Games, moving on to be the fictional band Old Gods of Asgard from the Alan Wake series. Overall, it told a really great femme fatale story, kind of a dark romance, and was pretty amazing. It came out in 2003, and it sold very poorly. Despite the positive reception, it actually caused Take-Two to reforecast their sales numbers. Now, we don't have exact numbers, but we know it was significantly less than Max Payne 1. After a number of years, it did not meet the expectations of Remedy or the publisher Rockstar, estimated at somewhere between 2 and 3 million copies. And then we have Max Payne 3. The Take-Two CEO first announced Max Payne 3 in 2004. Now that CEO is a couple generations behind Strauss Zelnick. Not much news about the development of Max Payne came out over the next few years, although we do have leaks that indicate that the now defunct Rockstar Vienna was working on it in 2005. We have some concept art, it looks like it was set in Russia, and it looked pretty cool to be honest. Finally, in 2009, Rockstar Games announced that it was coming in the winter of 2009. With Max Payne 3 having a stark contrast in location from New York City, it moved the series to Brazil. And for the first time, Rockstar is taking a shot at the Max Payne series. Take-Two would have saw how poorly Max Payne 2 performed and would have said, "Hey Rockstar, you should make this and do a better job." I'm just guessing that's what happened, I don't really know. 2009 came and went with no release of Max Payne 3. Eventually it came out in the summer of 2012. Buoyed by a really great marketing effort, including this cool comic that kind of fills in the gaps between Max Payne 2 and Max Payne 3. And the game was critically well received. However, financially, it did not do well, and man, did it make an impact to Take-Two's financials. They were banking a lot in that game, and it didn't perform. It sold roughly 4 million copies, the same amount as Max Payne 1, but with a budget that was well above $100 million, maybe even more when you count in marketing and such. Personally, I think Max Payne 3 was an amazing game. It is one of the closest experiences you could have to playing like a cinematic action blockbuster with amazing graphics, amazing gunplay, a unique setting, but I do think it was such a stark departure from the first two Max Payne games that it had trouble drawing that continuity to the series from a gameplay perspective. You can really see the Remedy magic come out in Max Payne 1 and 2, creating characters that you care about. I didn't really care about anyone in Max Payne 3, well, except for Max. The combat slapped, it's a unique story. I do miss that film noir look of New York though. If you want to dig further into the financial failures of Max Payne 3, I do have a video about that. It should be linked within this video. As well, there was the critically panned Max Payne film. Strangely enough, it wasn't a huge disaster financially. It made $85 million against a budget of $35 million. However, no one really considered that a success. So all this brings us into 2024. The Max Payne remakes are being developed, and will anyone actually care this time? Let's talk about what positive things the Max Payne remakes have going for it. Remedy has a much more well-known reputation now, based on a number of successful games and series, including the Alan Wake series, the Max Payne series, Quantum Break, which is incredibly underrated, and Control, which will have a sequel soon. Another thing going well for Remedy is their experience now versus when they made Max Payne 1. Sam Lake is a creative genius, and we've seen what he can do with the other franchises. I'm really hoping that he can pull the Max Payne remakes to be something incredibly innovative and creative, and not just an upgraded version of what we've already gotten. Like, what will the comic strips look like? I still want them, but will they look different? I think they should look a little different. What sort of things could make the bullet time more interesting? Is that just better controls, or is it something mind-bendingly different? But hey, that's why they make the big bucks. I'll let them make a product, and hopefully we'll really enjoy it. Here's some things going against Remedy. A big one is James McCaffrey passing away. How do you replace that iconic voice? It's a really tall order, and if I had to make an educated guess, I am guessing there's been some convo around using AI James McCaffrey, but I don't know if that's an option, or I don't even know if that's the right thing to do. I'm not shy about technology, but it would have to be the right circumstance. He would have had to agree, his family would have to get paid, all that stuff. I'm kind of torn if I would want that. What about you? How do you think they should handle James McCaffrey's absence? Again, the voice is so iconic. I don't like the idea of AI replacing it, but I don't like the idea of him being replaced either. However, I guess the right circumstances would be him passing away, and Remedy passing that torch to someone else. I do hope they find a way to integrate James McCaffrey within the game. There's just some iconic lines and iconic delivery throughout the game that just hits so well with him. I think another thing going against it is general consumer apathy of the Max Payne series. The last Max Payne game that came out was 12 years ago, and its troubled development is arguably one of the reasons we never got Bully 2 or Agent, the unreleased Rockstar game, or one of them. But it sold so poorly by Rockstar standards, and it just didn't resonate with people, no matter how good of a game it was from a standalone perspective. Something as anticipated and well received as Alan Wake 2 still hasn't recouped its development and marketing costs. Now there may be a few reasons for this, only being sold in the Epic Game Store as well as no physical copies. It's still not a great sign. I just really want them to be amazing and successful because they are great stories and Remedy is a great developer. I just hope this time around more people give Max Payne 2 a try in particular, because it really is an amazing story that hasn't been replicated throughout gaming yet, in my opinion. Do you think the Max Payne remakes are going to be successful? Are you looking forward to them? Love to know your thoughts. Drop a comment, I'm happy to chat about this and respond to most of them. Thanks so much for sticking with me. If you're new to the channel, I have a whole series of Rockstar Games video essays that you might be interested in because they're kind of similar to this. Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date on my other videos that come out. I cover a lot of videos like this, video game clips, some gaming news, a whole bunch of stuff. But it's always around gaming. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you in the next video.